Oh, God. What the? How are you still going? Jesus. Got a fucking robot or something? Oh, my God. You win. You win. Jesus Christ. You win. How do you people stare so much? You gotta get a better hobby. Maybe like take up croquet or something. Seriously, it's ridiculous. Ian,
Chris,
tonight I watched a movie that you were supposed to watch but didn't watch.
but you didn't tell me to watch.
But we talked about watching it, and then you didn't watch it.
I thought we were gonna watch it together.
Well, we could,
you apparently couldn't wait.
Should we go watch it? Do you want to watch it together?
I don't know. Do I? Would you recommend this movie, Chris?
I don't know if I can watch it again,
Okay.
but that is not a bad thing.
Okay. Okay. I'm intrigued. Try and convince me that I should watch it.
All right, so tonight I watched Hagazussa, which is a 2019 movie directed by Lukas Feigelfeld.
Okay.
Feigelfeld? That's a hell of a name. I wish my name was Feigelfeld, and that's what I would want you to refer to me now as.
Okay, Mr. Feigelfeld.
Henceforth, I am Dr. Feigelfeld. So yeah, Hagazussa, it is a folk horror movie.
Okay. And not always a big fan of folk horror movies.
Okay, well, it takes place in like the Alps. A young goat herding woman.
Okay, my interest is rising a little bit.
Yeah, I can see it
You
rise.
like goat herding
I
women.
can see it rise.
That's that's my thing. That's my jam.
Who is an outcast from a small town and is clearly shown to be an outcast. And she has a young child.
Now, is she a witch?
Is she a witch is the interesting question that this
Okay.
movie plays on, and perhaps or perhaps not answers.
So let me guess, because again, I've not seen this movie. I watched the trailer like a week ago and I don't remember it. The townsfolk think she's a witch. The audience of the movie can't tell for certain.
For sure. Because the movie deals in very like hallucinatory visuals and stuff like that at points where it could just be psychosis from the isolation and stuff like that. So this movie is very much like Robert Eggers' The Witch from 2015, which is a goddamn amazing movie if you've never seen it, about much of a similar story about outcasts living on their own, and a witch steals their baby and it causes issues in the family.
So since The Witch was a pretty popular movie and a lot of people have seen it, especially a lot of people who'd watch our channel,
Yeah.
would you say if you like The Witch, you'll like this, and if you didn't like The Witch, you won't like this? How similar of a vein is it?
If you like The Witch, you'll at least be drawn into this movie. And so I was very drawn into this movie initially, but this movie has nowhere near the narrative depth that The Witch had.
Okay.
And so it quickly becomes arduous, like long, and at times boring.
I've heard people say that about The Witch, though.
Well, those people are goddamn fools. Fools. No, I've never felt that way during The Witch. I was always engrossed. I found The Witch to be extremely compelling for me. I've seen the movie like 5 times now, and it's just like so... It just brings you into that time period. It feels so authentic.
The Witch is a movie that I haven't seen, at least partially because some of my coworkers got in an argument about the movie. I was like, I don't even want to wade into this.
No, you got to watch it because his new movie's coming out soon.
My coworkers, Ron and Brendan, have been arguing back. Like, one of them really liked it, one of them really didn't. And
Who likes
Brendan, I'm not wading into this.
Who likes
Come
it?
back on. I don't remember.
All right, get Brendan on, and we can talk about The Witch.
Okay.
I love that movie.
Hi, Brendan.
So this has a very similar
He
look.
doesn't watch this. I don't know why I said that.
Okay. Fuck you, Brendan. What the fuck, Brendan? Fucking Brendan. But yeah, it has a very similar look to The Witch.
Get down in the comments if you want Brendan to come back on.
Yeah, nobody's gonna say anything. Yeah. We should like tell our moms about our YouTube channels. Maybe they would start commenting. Maybe we'd get some comments.
My mom is aware of my YouTube channel.
She just doesn't
And she
watch.
will not watch it because she doesn't like horror.
Okay.
And she's always worried about there being horror.
Okay. Okay, so Hagazussa. Back to Hagazussa. The tone is similar to something like The Witch, where it's the music is low and it's building. Like there's a lot of scenes where they spend 10 minutes just building this anticipation and this setting this dark tone where it's just the camera is so constrained in its movement and everything, and like much like The Witch, everything looks and feels authentic. It feels of the time. It feels gritty and real. However, the story is so small, and there is questions about where it possibly is going, but it's not like The Witch where it has like this strong family dynamic and you have a character that you really align with. You have, what's her face? Thomason, I think that was her name in The Witch, but the actress from Split, what's her name?
I'm drawing a blank. I don't remember.
But yeah, she is like
I know
really,
what you mean.
she's really good and strong in that movie. And this one, you kind of like don't quite align with the main character because she feels off. She's isolated, but they play on it a little bit. But I like never really got invested in her too much. So like her story arc didn't really.
Would you describe this as a slow burn horror?
It's extremely slow.
So I'm always fascinated with some of these, like The Witch, which is, to my understanding, a good execution on it. But when you do a slow burn horror, that's a big risk. Sometimes you make these like fast-paced, ultra-violent, ultra-sexy kind of horror movies. They can suck, but they're not boring. You know, oh, there's the great gore scenes and whatever, and it was a good time. So even though the movie sucked, it was at least entertaining. When you make a slow burn movie, if it's not good, there's not much for you.
What do you mean by good? See, that's the thing. Like, you look at this movie, I think you would have to be an idiot to say it's not well made.
Okay.
It looks fantastic.
Gotcha.
The score, while minimal, really works and sets the tone. The atmosphere is thick in this movie.
But if it doesn't create a compelling story...
But I wasn't super compelled.
Okay.
I was at the beginning. The opening spends time with this young girl and her mom becomes sick, and there's a really, like, twisted scene with the mom calling her into her bed, and it's just dark and gross and creepy as fuck. And that's about the only creepy part in the movie. Later, there's like a sexual assault kind of scene that's not explicit, but it focuses on the aftermath for about 10 minutes where you just see this woman laying in the field and she gets up dazed, and it's like...
That can often be way more upsetting to me.
So, yeah. So, like, that's the kind of stuff that, like, dealing with the mental state of somebody who's been isolated for so long is interesting. But there's only so many times you can do that in a movie where it starts, like that effect of spending 5 minutes on a shot and just seeing a character slowly rise, like one time, that can be really effective. But this is, the movie starts to fall into this loop where it feels like, okay, this is the scene now. Plant the camera, slowly move, play that audio track again where it's like, and it's slowly rising, and it goes on for 10 minutes. Maybe something little happens. That's it, move on. Okay. Do it again, reset. And that's where I was like, okay, I'm kind of done. It then like culminates, the climax of the movie is kind of open-ended too, which is fine.
Okay.
But by then I just kind of wanted it to end, or I wanted something cemented.
So I'm feeling disinclined to want to check this out. Am I wrong? Should I be checking
It's
this
hard
out?
to say. I don't know. Because The Witch itself was so, so many people love it or hate it. So I don't know what side of the fence you fall on. If you love The Witch, you would at least enjoy some of this.
Okay.
Not nearly as much, I don't think. If you watch The Witch and you're like, that was fucking slow and horrible and I hated it, then you would despise this movie, I think.
Okay.
This is not a casual movie for casual horror fans who just want to have a fun, scary time. This isn't really even that scary or anything like that. That doesn't mean it's not, like, affecting. So, do you ever see The Possession from 1981?
No.
With Sam Neill or anything like that? Okay. Because it kind of is like that movie where it's like, you see two characters and they're just having this, like, divorce, but the way they treat each other and stuff, it feels so real, but also terrifying. And so it's kind of like horror in that way, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like this as well, where this woman's being taken advantage of and her psychosis and like her just, so it's not all like monster scares, but it's like the mental breakdown kind of thing.
Gaslighting the movie.
Kind of, sort of, but there's so little dialogue too.
Okay.
I don't know. It's an interesting movie, I'll say that.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it the first time.
I might check out the trailer again and try and decide if I want to see this one, because you've got me feeling disinclined to want to check it out.
You need to check out The Witch, because we're going to watch his next movie. The Lighthouse or something like that? The Innkeeper? I don't know what the hell it's called. Something like that. And that comes out soon. What's this movie called?
Hagazussa.
Hagazussa. Yeah. Yeah.
So you'd look forward. Would you check out more from this director in the future?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Hagazussa. That's gonna do it for this episode on Hagazussa. And my name is Chris.
I'm Ian.
And you are probably not this far into the video anymore after all that.